So the topic of this video is, if I go to the hospital and I don't have severe injuries, do I still have a personal injury case? And the answer to your question is yes, absolutely. So what most people don't understand is that when they go to a hospital following either a car accident or a motorcycle accident or even a slip and fall or trip and fall or whatever the accident may be, the emergency room is simply looking to determine that the person is in a stable condition and doesn't have any life-threatening injuries. So what they're doing is they're going to check you with an x-ray to make sure you don't have any broken bones. And they're also going to give you diagnostic tests to determine, for example, that you don't have any internal bleeding, so that you're okay. So if they discharge you, you're not going to die. But that's really all a hospital visit is going to do. So the most common example is an auto accident. Someone gets rear-ended, their back and neck hurt, and so they go to the hospital. The hospital checks them out, gives them an x-ray, and says, you're fine, you're free to go. They may diagnose them with a neck strain or a back strain or sprain, but no significant injuries. And so what most people do not understand is that does not end the car accident claim. It does not mean that simply because you don't have a broken bone or a serious medical condition that's going to cause you to have a stroke or die, that you can't bring an accident claim. And so I run into this quite frequently with my clients, and they just sort of think, well, I don't have a case, okay, my medical bills are taken care of. But what they don't understand is that the emergency room is not there to diagnose whether they're going to continue to have neck pain or whether they're going to continue to have back pain, whether they're going to have trouble sleeping or bending or twisting or lifting any type of weight in the future. That's just not the purpose of the emergency room. And so what actually needs to happen is that the patient needs to be then referred to a specialist to look at whatever is continuing to hurt. And really the only diagnostic test that is going to determine what the extent of the injury really is an MRI, because that's a much more sensitive test than an x-ray. So even though you may go into the emergency room, your x-ray may come back negative, well, you may have all kinds of positive findings on an MRI that shows spinal injuries. So, like I said, it's a common misunderstanding that if you go into a hospital and do not get diagnosed with severe injuries, that you don't have an accident claim. You absolutely still do. And in every one of those circumstances, I suggest you speak to a lawyer or you continue with the treatment with either a chiropractor or an orthopedist or someone to do physical therapy, someone that's going to be able to diagnose those perhaps less severe injuries, but still severe enough that will affect your life going forward. So hopefully this information was helpful, and it answers the question as to if you go to the hospital and you are not diagnosed with some type of severe injury, whether you still have a personal injury case.